Welcome to Living by Oak Values, guys. So this is going to be my first solo episode. Before we dive in, I want to mention something that's very important. You'll notice that Rob is not with me today. Rob has been a huge part of this podcast, and right now he's taking some time to focus on other things with Northman coaching, with his growth, with things that matter most in his life. There's nothing but respect and appreciation and brotherhood here. He has contributed so much to the conversations that we've had, and that will always mean something to me. I'm continuing forward with this show, still rooted in the same values, still committed to deep conversations and real growth. But I also want to honor the journey that he is on, because sometimes stepping back is part of stepping forward. If or when he returns, there will always be a seat open. Until then, I ask that you send him good thoughts, good energy, and support as he focuses on what he needs in this season. All right, so I guess I do have people watching. That's awesome. Cool. All right, anyway, so let me ask you guys something, and let me ask myself something. Let's get real. When is the last time that you actually looked at everything that you were carrying? Not just the things that you show the world, but the things that you drag behind you. So I once was talking to a person, and they were worrying about so much stuff that I had to explain to them that it was like carrying tissues. Like, so every time you had a worry or you were carrying something, to put a tissue in your hand. And it got to the point where they couldn't carry any more tissues. And I said to them, now imagine that those are bricks. You get to a point where you cannot carry anymore. And those are not your bricks. Those are not your tissues to carry. So you have to figure out what is yours to carry and what is not yours to carry. So I'm telling you guys that are listening, and I'm telling my younger self, that there are things in this world that you thought were yours to carry, but they are not. So take a deep breath, slow down, and really think about what is yours. So the weight that we don't notice, we just assume that the stress of the things that we carry is normal. The tension is normal, numbing out is normal, but it's not. We were not designed to carry fear. We were not designed to carry every expectation, every memory, every mistake, and every ounce of pressure, at least not alone. But most men do. So sometimes we get so used to the weight that we forget what it feels like to breathe. And that was definitely me. So I'm telling my younger self to remember to breathe, because before I got into breath work, before I got into meditation, there was a lot. There was a lot of weight to carry. And I know there's men out there right now that have got so much to carry, and it hurts and they can't breathe. So stop. Think about what's yours. And I believe that a lot of men carry that weight simply because they create a story in their head, the story that it's their job to carry this weight. So the weight that I had was survival, whether it was in school or at home. But I had brothers and sisters. I had to try and be top dog, and even in the restaurant business. But after my childhood, I was still trying to be top dog. So I was taking on roles or worries that were not mine, and I took them well past where I really had to take them. And I don't know. I don't know why I took them as far as I did, but I thought that they were mine, and they built up who I was. This was, man. And now I'm starting reading this, and I'm not on YouTube. Wonder why. All right, well, Facebook it is then. I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out another day. So anyway, now I don't know where I was. So these stories that I created in my head They were killing me. But they were my stories. They were my identity. So I'm telling my younger self to really think, what is your identity? What do you stand for? Is the fear that you had as a child, is it you? Is the divorce that I went through, is that me? No. The divorce or things that happened to you, they are just things that happen to you. They are not who you are. So, on that note, you have to think about the things that are not you, that you have to look at everything in your life and really analyze it. The only thing that's you is the person that you see in that mirror. And you can decide every single day who that person is. You don't have to carry the past with you every single day. And it took a divorce for me to realize that. So, and I think that I know that a lot of men struggle, myself, because we tie our identity to that old story. Like I said earlier, that divorce, that was who I was. I was divorced. My daughter, that's who I am. I'm a father. When I ran restaurants, I was a chef. I was a restaurant manager. But those were just my roles. Those were things that were happening to me, things that were happening for me. Some things were good, some things were bad, but they were not me. They were just my identity. And if we let them go, then who do we become? So if I let go of my childhood, the good and the bad, if I let go of my marriage, the good and the bad, because there were good parts and bad parts to everything in my life. So if I let go of those, then who the hell am I? So it's so hard to let go. So we confuse letting go with failure. And I discussed it earlier today with some people that the moment that I stopped fighting for my marriage, I felt like a failure. I felt, and granted, she wanted the divorce, and I fought, and then I gave up, or I gave in, whatever you want to call it. But I felt in my body, in my mind, my soul, I felt that I failed my wife, my daughter, God, my parents. But in reality, I wasn't failing anybody. I was only killing myself by fighting for something that I was not going to win, that I truly didn't even want to win. So because I lost my marriage didn't mean I lost my fatherhood. It didn't mean that I lost my relationship with God. It didn't mean that I lost my relationship with my parents. It meant that I ended a relationship with someone who did not want a relationship. And when I put it together like that, I realized that I wasn't quitting and I wasn't giving up. I was letting go. So many men are loyal to their pain because it's like a tattoo. It's like a suit of armor. We wear it because look at my scars. But it's important that we keep our scars where we can see them, but we don't show wounds. So these are scars, but I don't need to, they're not me. They're just things I've been through. So they're I guess like the tattoos, they're markings of what I've been through, but they are not who I am. So the point behind this episode is to let go of the things that no longer serve us. And the reason behind that is because there are things that do serve every single one of us. But if you are so full of the things that don't serve you, you have to figure that you have to make room. And the important thing is that once you make this room, you have to fill it intentionally. If you let go of things that don't serve you and you have all this extra space now, but you don't intentionally fill it, you will wind up filling it with doom scrolling, with numbing, with endless TV watching. So sorry, I'm trying to look at my things over here, but whatever. So you will end it with endless TV watching, doom scrolling, numbing yourself. So you have to purposefully fill those voids, if you'll call them. But the things that you need to get rid of, that I had to get rid of, were limiting beliefs. Beliefs that made me feel small. I'm not enough, or I always mess things up. I have to do everything alone, and if I rest, then I'm failing. And I still kind of hold on to that one a little bit because I want to keep moving forward. I don't want to stop. I don't want to slow down. But all of those other beliefs, you have to let them go. Number two is the behaviors that will betray you. And these are the ones that will fill those voids if you don't intentionally fill them. And that's like numbing and people pleasing, avoiding conversations, which that took me a long time to really get down and have conversations that I needed to have with people, and staying silent to keep the peace. And I see that in so many guys today, that it's just easier to be quiet to keep the peace. Then there's no confrontation, there's no friction, nothing. So, where was I? Yeah, so you don't want to stay silent to keep the peace. You don't want to stay silent to start a fight either, though. But you want to speak your mind so that people hear and understand what's going on in your world. Number three, the burdens that do not belong to you. And that is a lot of, carrying someone else's anger, carrying other people's guilt, other people's expectations of you, someone else's drama. And that happened all the time in my marriage. If there was drama, somehow it ran off on me. And if there, expectations, whether it was what my wife expected of me, or my daughter, or the restaurant, or anything, those were their expectations that I made my own. So it's so important that you get rid of the beliefs that shrink you, the behaviors that betray you, and the burdens that are truly not yours. So once I got rid of all of these, I had to make room. Once I got rid of all those, I made room for what I was planning on doing next. And the things that I made room for, and I'm still making more room for them every day, is peace and purpose, clarity, connection, and that's with other men, other people, God, better relationships. And on top of the better relationships, the biggest thing that really helped me was creating better boundaries. That allowed people to know where I stood. That allowed people to know what I was accepting in my life and what I was not accepting in my life. So, yeah, so better boundaries, better faith, or more faith, focus, and identity. So I'm at the stage in my life where I am very clear on who I am. I'm focused. As of this year, if you guys have all been watching, you know that I am grounded or rooted in my faith. I have confidence now. I never had confidence when I was a kid, ever. I was the least confident. I was probably lacking confidence all the way up through my marriage. But now it's crazy. Like I don't know that I know who I am. I am confident. And one thing that helps me do this is a brotherhood. And I'm always part or creating another brotherhood here or there. It's so good to have brothers that hold you up, that you hold up in turn. And part of that I'm making room for is maturity. You cannot have a brotherhood if you're not mature enough to handle it. And I say maturity because in a brotherhood, people come to you with issues, with situations, and you have to be there for them. But the information that you get can't leave the brotherhood. You can't go running to your wife, your girlfriend, and say, "Hey, so and so is this and that and whatever." So part of brotherhood is maturity. And I take all this that I have in my life now, and I know that it's creating my legacy. I know that when I'm gone, people will look back, probably my daughter, My close friends, they'll look back and they'll say, I don't know what to say, but hopefully it'll be amazing things because that is the man that I am building. And you really cannot start building that man until you clear your plate of the things that are not serving you. So remember, letting go is not about loss. It's about upgrading your capacity. So, how do you practice letting go? Hold on. Maybe I should do some of these comments. There's only one question so far. Cliff wants to know who I am. Who I am. I am a confident, grounded, peaceful man. That is who I am. And nothing will shake me of that. Cool. I think that's the only question, huh? If someone feels lost, then how do they figure out or find who? Well, Cliff, we are going to get to that right now because this is the practice part where I'm going to tell you guys how because a coach told me all this stuff back when I was getting coached, to let go of things, to make room for things, but they didn't tell me what to do or how to do it. And if they did, I don't recall, and I refined it into my own thing. So the biggest thing, the things that are holding you back, that you want to leave, you have to name it out loud. So I am leaving behind what? Name it out loud, and then tell the truth about what it is costing you. So if you're leaving something behind, what is it costing you? If I'm leaving behind someone's drama, or I don't know, I can't think of the top of my head right at this moment, but what is that you're leaving? What is it costing you? Is it draining you? Is it limiting you? Is it hurting your future? Or more? What is it costing you? So my marriage, that was costing me my peace. It was costing me the stress that was building up between me and my daughter. It was costing me everything in my job because I was so stressed out of everything going on. So letting go of that saved me on all of that stuff. So you have to name whatever it is that you are letting go and name it out loud. I mean, use your voice. Don't write it down. Don't whisper it. Yell it out. Say what it costs you. And then choose what you're picking up instead to fill that spot. So are you taking peace over the punishment, or purpose instead of pleasure? Truth instead of falsehood or lying or trying to be somebody else? Identity over insecurity. And I want to take a step back because there was a time in my life where I chose trying over the truth, where I wanted to look better than I really was. Most of that was like before my wife, I was dating, and I would come up with some line about how cool I was or rich I was, and it's like when you start telling these stories to yourself, if you tell them to yourself enough, they become your reality. But when you tell others, you have to keep building that lie and building it and building it, and it gets very, very hard. So that was one thing that I definitely had to get rid of. And so, but I now choose truth, and I choose identity, over insecurity. I am very secure with who I am. If Cliff wants to ask again, I'm that peaceful, grounded man. So Joel says, would you say sacrifice would be one of the things that are a must to find yourself? Absolutely, but only if you're going to sacrifice the things that are not serving you. You don't want to sacrifice good things. You don't want to sacrifice your peace or anything like that. Just the things that are holding you back, that are not serving you. So, and you have to understand that this was also hard for me when I first started this work, is that you're not going to change this overnight. So you can call it out right now. You can say the cost of whatever it is and what you're going to replace it with. You can do that right now. It is Sunday. Monday morning, you're not going to be fixed. It takes time. You have to really convince your brain because your brain doesn't want to change. You're safe right there in the mess of whatever you want to call that. So it's very important that you repeat it. I'm trying to become repetitive, every day, every morning, every night. Just keep saying to yourself what you're letting go, what the cost is, and what you're replacing it with. And you will get there. Trust me, I'm living proof. You will definitely get there. And the best thing about being part of a brotherhood is you share it with your brothers. You tell them what you're doing so they can hold you accountable. Because there are plenty of times when yes, exactly, Cliff, comfortable mediocrity, mediocrity, words, big words, hard. But there are plenty of times when I fall down, or you know what, I'm too tired. I don't want to do this. And somebody will remind me, you said you were doing this. And when you're called out by a brother, by someone that you trust, by someone that trusts you, but you're called out and not in a manner to put you down, in a manner to bring you up, to remind you of the man that you can be, it really brings it together. It helps you stand up and be the man that you want to be. Because not only are you fighting for yourself, but now you have brothers side by side, just like you're at war. You're there for each other. You have your six, they have your back, they're looking out for you. So you're not alone, and you truly are not alone. And if you feel alone, on Thursday, go to northmancoaching.com, and under resources, we have resources and events. We have a motivated men's group. Come join us. Come talk to us. We just talk about whatever's on our mind. And if there's anything that, Rob or I can help you out with, or any other manly group for that matter, we will. And there's no judgment. No one leaves the group and goes and runs and tells anybody else. That group is for whoever wants to join, to just be there. So, yeah, check out the Thursday night motivated men's group on Northman Coaching. So Cliff says, would you say that letting go of what no longer serves you would be equivalent to raising your standards? Well, absolutely. Actually, you know what, Cliff? I've never actually put that together, but yeah, it is exactly raising your standards. But I think that it's easier to say letting go of what no longer serves you, because it's easier to. So for me, I think it's easier to let something go than it is to actually raise my standard. That sounds like a lot of work when I can just throw something in the trash. So yeah, so I agree with you. I definitely think that letting go of what no longer serves you is equivalent to raising your standards. So that was the practice on what to do. So call it out. What was the cost, and what are you replacing it with? And share, most important, share it with a brother. So I guess I want to challenge all you guys out there to write down before the new year, write down 3 things that are not serving you and that you want to get rid of. And that will raise your standards. But write down 3 things that you want to get rid of. And what are you going to replace them with? And I would love, some feedback on what those are. Not right now, because I want you have to think about it. So yeah, write those down and what you're going to replace them with. And also, if you want to come to the group on Thursday to share that with me or Rob or any of us, so we can hold you accountable, I would love that. So you don't need a perfect plan. You just need honesty and a decision. That's all it takes. And, as I talk about this, it seems so easy, and it was so difficult to get here. And anybody that has ever been where I was, and I know it's a lot of men, when you get to this point and you turn around and you look, you're like, wow, I've made it this far. And you could see all the way down the mountain, all the way to the bottom, and you're at the top. And you think there's nowhere else to go. And you turn around and you see this another mountain to climb. So you just keep going. Never stop. Just keep going, but it's always looks harder from the bottom. So from where I'm standing, there is another mountain to climb. And man, my knees hurt and I'm tired. But I look the other way at how far I've come. And it really wasn't that difficult to get here. And I'm going to keep climbing till the day that I'm done, till the day that God calls me home. I am not going to stop climbing. Every day will be an improvement. And that's it. So, wow, this is kind of short. It's only 25 minutes, but I'm kind of done. So, I guess I want to thank you guys for tuning in, checking this out. I don't know. I guess people still watch it later. I've never done the Facebook thing. I have to figure out why it's not on YouTube. But remember that space matters. Your growth matters. And what you leave behind and what you replace it with, that's the man that you're becoming. And you know what? And even for Glow, I think she's on here. For the woman you're becoming. I think it works the same for women. You can let go of things. Pretty sure. Most women don't, but and don't drag an old season into a new year. So start fresh. Start fresh every day. So, and if you need support, Thursday we have the men's group. Every Sunday will be the podcast. You want to reach out and talk to me, I have, book your free call. We can talk all about whatever's on your mind. And not going to sell you nothing, but we do have coaching courses. We have coaching plans, and I'd be happy to help anybody out. People help me out, and I want to return that favor. Also, my new ebook, the first 30 days, what to do when she says the D word. That's a big change, and this is December. So most couples or wives hold on to whatever they can right now for the holidays. When the holidays are over and the kids go back to school, that's when it happens to a lot of guys. So if you're feeling any kind of stress in your marriage right now, check out that book. I'm not saying it's going to happen to you. I had no idea. In fact, I can go into that for a quick second. It's for the book purposes, but you don't know what's coming. You feel it. Maybe you feel it when you look back it's in hindsight. So when my ex-wife told me that she wanted a divorce, it was the craziest day. You would have never imagined. I had made dinner that night. We got home from work. I made dinner. We put my daughter to bed. We were watching TV. I can't remember what show we were watching, and I was rubbing her feet. It was a great show, and I was rubbing her feet. She was enjoying it. And next thing I know, she's like, I want a divorce. And it didn't even, when she said it, I was like, what? And then I got mad, and then I got defensive. And why? What did I do wrong? What do you want from me? What? I did every single thing a man should never do. So check out the book, and it will help you know how to respond in a way that will make you proud. And along with that book, I have a class on January 10th, and I will go through the whole book in detail and help you guys know exactly how to respond. And will it save your marriage? I have no idea. Will it save the way you feel? Absolutely. Will it build you into a better man? Yes, it will, if you want it to. I can't promise that you'll become a better man, but if you want it, this book and me, we will help it. We will make it happen. So remember all that stuff, guys. Check out the book. Check out the men's group. Sign up for your one-on-one. Sign up for a course if you want. And until next time, stand up, speak the truth, and above all, stay authentic, guys. All right. Have a good night.